How do you follow up a very strong episode? Well, you follow it up with another really strong one. So, ideally, we follow the third one up with another strong one. As I said last week, I really do like the overall continuation of the series of just not like time skipping really so far. I mean, they can do that at some point in the future, but as of right now, I do like how we're just kind of following their adventures of figuring out all this stuff and just going like moment by moment of what is actually happening here, which would lead us to likely the grandma showing up, which is, I don't know how that's going to go at all. Profession itself involves dealing with the oculate in some sort. So how exactly is that going to be related to what is actually consuming Ken here? I don't know. Like what's going to happen? Is it going to come out, especially with ISA passed out? Is she going to show up at the exact moment? Is there going to be, does she have capabilities of like fighting, or is she just like some sort of like spiritual person like and can't really do much? Like maybe, well, I mean, I guess at the same time, if that is, yeah, I guess she could do something. I don't know. I'm interested to see the type of character she is too, because everything's so like whacked out within the show that like she's not going to be normal, right? Like that it just doesn't make any sense. She's not just going to be like your typical old lady. So there's going to be like something to her that makes her a little spicy, I think. So I'm excited to see exactly what that is. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you like it all, like and subscribe. You want to, may feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments with this episode or series. Let's go on episode 3 of Don Da Don.
20歳です。妻子がいるだろう。一人暮らしです。カレーが好きだろう。ラーメンが好きです。
So you're a scammer. Well done, well done.
あんな若いアイドルに妻子がいるわけないっしょ。俺でもわかるわそんな。
what are you even trying here? I'm assuming this is our grandma, because Santa. Just get out in the middle while it's moving. Uh oh. Right, and then right back where we left off. It's just the way the eyes roll are crazy. Uh-oh. Partially. She doesn't look old at all, outside of the hair color. The granny versus granny clash. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know if I can take anything she says serious after how they set her up. Well, I mean, I guess she did that. That is actually so fucking sick, the bat. That's such like a power move. I don't think you're gonna have that opportunity. What does this mean for Ken though? Okay. At least give it a shot. Like, the fuck are you doing? Just drawing another circle. Does she care about that's the question. She's aware, she's aware. Go check on what happened. My grandma kinda Why she can't, you know.
バカ殿は日本の宝だぜ。ねえ、聞いてんのかよ。てか男のやつ見なかった。そいつうちがいないとやばいんだよ。悪霊ならぶっ殺したぜ。
But what about him?
はあ、悪霊ってどんなやつ？メガネかけてる？おいおい、おめえ幽霊。
Okay, but some things happened last night. You gotta, you gotta realize. For her life, it's her livelihood. It ruined her.
よせよ、こんな話信じるな。悪霊なんかいねえし、わしは偽物だ。ごめんなさい。うちが間違ってました。
Takes a lot to do this.
教えて。悪霊どうしたの？本殿へ行ってみろ。クソババア！オカルに何かあったら許さねえから。
That's kind of sweet, though.
あいつはただオカルトが好きで。
Yeah, and you killed him. Nah, he's probably just laid up in there chilling. But that's really sweet that she's thinking this way. Yeah. Yeah. He's back. His hair looks good, too. It's like, why did I feel all these emotions just for this bullshit? That's his fault. Blame her for not telling you. Aw.
いつから化け物を友達にするようになったんだ？びっくりした。その中なら呪いは発動しねえ。だがひとたび外へ出れば化け物に逆戻りだ。
A barrier.
ぶっ殺しただよ、嘘つきやがって。ずいぶん必死だったじゃねえか。あんな。
We are friends. For now. For now.
取られちゃってて。ババアにあそこを取られてる限り呪いは解けないって言われてさ。こうなったのうちにも責任あるし、なんとかしてあげたいって思ってるだけ。
Can we get our grandma to go fight the other grandma now?
言ってけわ。それでさ、うち超能力使えるようになった。何言ってんだおめえ。UFO に会える場所に行って。
Yeah, when I was about to get. Yeah.
UFO なんているわけねえだろ。わかるわ、その反応。うちも昨日まではそうだった。超能力って力はあるだろうよ。信じてる基準がわかんねえ。しかし。
Just personal experiences, or what are we doing here?
全国各地で暴れ回ってた近代妖怪だぜ。そんな神出鬼没の野郎が最近あのトンネルに長いこと居座ってるって聞いて。
Just you weren't curious enough to go check it out? Oh, you were, okay.
異様だったぜ。あまりの霊気の強さにトンネルに近づくことさえ。
So how did he just go in?
自爆霊って知ってるか？何か強い執着を持ってその場所に居続ける霊のことだが、奴らは自分のテリトリーの中ではほぼ最。
It's like me in my room.
ターボババアと自爆霊が合体してやがってます。あれには手を出すな。
So how do we get his dick back? He said he would fight it. But I am. You kind of forced him into it.
うちがラブなケンさんだったらこういう時どうするだろうって。いつも迷ったらそう考えることにしてて。今までそれで後悔したことないの。でさ、ケンさんなら 100% 助けるんだわ。
I'm gonna be just like him. Aw.
ケンさんっておめえ。そのガキどうこいつのことじゃないから。おい、告られてんぞ。違うっつってんだろ、俳優の方だ。
She acts more like a big sister.
ターボババアと鬼ごっこしろ。
Okay, you're gonna form a plan for us?
絶対的自信を持ってる。適当に挑発すれば必ずそれに乗ってくる。問題なのは
But how do we win? Yeah, yeah.
テリトリーは消耗しない。そこからターボババアを市外へ誘い出せ。捕まらずに。
That is true. They don't like being outside. We've talked about that.
躯体化しておめえらでも倒せるようになる。 いやいやこの軟弱な足見てよ。
There's no
相
way.
手に鬼ごっことか絶対無理。そんなんじゃなくてさ、あの結界とか使ってなんとかできない。
Can't we just do that? That would be way more simple.
そいつはできねえな。
Ah.
そもそもわしは手伝えね
Ah.
何それ。
え。わしの結界術はこの土地に住む神様の力を借りてるに過ぎねえ。わしが住む神越しを出たらこの能力は使え
I
ない。
mean, kind of sucks, but cool.
テリトリー持ってんだ。
すべての土地がそれぞれの神を持ってる。
Alright.
問題はホームかアウェーかってことだ。とにかくターボババアを倒すにはこれしかねえ。今から体鍛えりゃ
It's like you gotta go on the road and defeat that.
うちがどんだけ頑張ったって陸上の県大会にも出れねえか。
おめえじゃねえ。
Yeah. It's his problem.
あ、そっか。
やっと話に入れてもらえるんすか。
Yeah.
じゃあモモを背負って走れ。
綾瀬さん体重いくつですか？
おい死にてえのか。
いやー無理っすね。自分呪い状態で全力出せるの2回が限界です。
だよね。
だったら常に全力出せるように鍛えろ。今から腕立て腹筋背筋スクワット100回5
Training arc already.
やれ。あとモモ、おめえの超能力もだ。今以上にレベルアップさせ
Yep.
る必
Do it so much that it becomes your natural state.
要。おめえら自身が強くなるしかね。
That is
だ
true.
からわしがおめえらを鍛えてやる。今日はもう寝な。明日から始めるぜ。メガネはすぐに筋トレ始めろ。
はい。
You want to dig back? Get ready.
正直必死すぎて自分のことしか考えられなかったです。ごめんなさい。
いやしょうがないじゃんそんなの。
でも綾瀬さんは違ったじゃないですか。自分も助けて化け物もやっつけて。
Mm.
だけど次あんなことがあったら自分が綾瀬さんを助けられるように
Thanks,
頑張り
buddy.
ますから。
That's sweet.
だから幻滅してほしくないっす。友達をやめないでください。
幻滅なんかしないし考えすぎ。
じゃあなんでさっきバーンってドア閉めたんですか？
あ、それは
ほら見たことかやっ
So I was alive and you were pissed.
いちいちめんどくせえ。
すいません。
かっこよかったよ戦ってる時は。
You were.
でもオカルンどんくさいし多分次もうちが。
So work till a point that you can save her.
今布団持ってくるね。
Does he have like a family to get to at some point? We're not gonna check in with him.
自分は喉乾いたんで水ください。
Brother, please.
この麦茶。
あー
持っていい？
おうよ。
衝撃のニュースが飛び込んできました。
Oh
人気ア
fuck.
イドルのショウマさんに隠し子がいることが判明しました。また年齢も20歳ではなく27歳だったということです。
こいつはラーメンじゃなくてカレー好き。
I would also like to apologize completely for what I said at the beginning.
どうでもいいわそんなニュース。やばいオカルンがトイレ行きたいんだって。
行けよ。
いやこれマジでやばい案件なんだって。障害物とかでオカルンが見えないと呪いが解けちゃうの。つまりオカルンがトイレしてるとこ見。
そもそもおめえどんな感じで呪いを抑えてんの？
I don't really know. I just think about it.
なんつうのかな。オカルンにオーラが見えるっていうか。
Oh, really?
ほら。
そのオーラをギューって握りつぶすとオーラが小さく。
So we can control it and him to a certain level and use it to our advantage in some sort of way.
それこそイメージが全部現実になる感じっていうか無敵って感じ。でもすぐに収まっちゃって。
So that's the state we need to get you to.
モモ、ちょっと目つぶれ。
無理無理そんなことしたら呪い解けちゃうし。
要は視覚に頼ってるからダメなんだ。
Mm.
五感を使ってみろ。例えば触覚。
If you can channel, it's essentially the saying of you can do it with your eyes closed, right?
そのまま目を閉じてオーラを肌で感じてみろ。
That's pretty cool.
ゆっくりと感じるんだ。
Can you envision it even when they are closed?
冷たい。どう？
Yeah, it didn't work.
やべ。
I don't think she's so wrong about that though. You probably can. You just haven't done it yet.
てめえ人んちで命をなんていい度胸じゃねえかこっちも必死なんだてめえ誰が
Can you like just put something around him to barricade him while he does it so you see like his head or something so you can keep doing it? We're running awfully fast now, buddy.
屈辱的だ。
おめえ超能力に目覚めた時無敵状態だったって言ってたな。多分それがモモの本来の力なんだろう。なんでかその力は封印されてるみてえだがよ。
何
It also could be depleted because she's been using shit non-stop since then.
ずつ力を解放していかなきゃならねえし、それがどのくらい時間がかかるかわからねえ。まあ、小僧の肉体改造に時間がかかりそうだからいいんだけどよ。
当分トイレ姿見られなきゃいけないんすか。
こっちのセリフ
What the fuck?
ばあちゃん
感染するこのガキを媒介してな。ガキが見た人間は全員呪い殺せるのさ。わしを舐めるんじゃねえぜ。てめえに時間なんかやらねえ。今夜トンネルに来い。じゃなきゃこのガキ使ってそこら辺の奴ら全員呪い殺す。
Oh, we're on a time limit. Well, so much for training.
話。
ばあちゃん
なんだこりゃ。
耳からも血出てるし
So much for fucking training. What the hell?
モモ、何があったか聞こうじゃねえか。
Yeah, how did they do that?
そいつは悪霊用の防弾チョッキだ。ちゃんと着とけよ。簡単に死ぬからな。
Gonna make sure he can't see anything.
こう見えて宇宙人ぶっ倒してるから
宇宙人なんかいるわけねえだろ。小さい頃からわしの言うことを聞きやしね
あーうざいうざいババアの小言がうるせえな行こうかな
Luckily, though, he hasn't seen anybody else besides us. But I wonder if it also has the capability of getting her no because of her. Aww. Be safe.
死ぬなよ。
なんで電車なんすか。
自転車じゃ遠すぎるし着く前に体力消耗したくないじゃんマジで許さねえターボババアの大切なもんを傷つけようとしやがった
Mmm.
ターボババアの野郎ボッコボコにしたるわい
身を守るための戦闘服なんですよね。おばあさんが着とけって。
誰がそんなもん着るか
This is more my
誰
style.
はおしゃれが戦闘服なの着たい服着ないとテンション上がんないじゃん
何笑ってんですか。
Why are you feeling like that?
自分今吐きそうです。
Really fun episode that does a great job at building the hype, I think, towards getting you really excited and ready for the confrontation that we'll probably run into next episode. I'm more excited to like just think about what's going to happen next time as opposed to like really what happened this episode. And that's not in any sort of way to mean that I disliked it or had like problems or anything with it. I really enjoyed it. But I think they just did such an excellent job as a way to build up my excitement for what is to come, especially just knowing after how excellent I felt the first episode was with like a lot of different elements that I think that they could really capitalize and make work, especially now having like, this is like the first like real arc, like starts chapter 1, ends probably episode 4, right? And being able to build all of that all the way through for that and make it something really cool. I mean, maybe it goes a little longer than that, I don't know, but this fight is something I'm really interested into. And also I'm calling it a fight. It's supposed to be a race, but at the same time, it's a battle of some sort. So very thrilled for them to do that. And I'm so happy that they just had it like cut in and introduce like this new layer of like, nah, we doing this tonight to bypass all like the bullshit training and everything else that we were gonna do. I mean, the routine probably wouldn't have worked with the whole idea of us having to be carried and stuff, but I think the general idea of being proposed that there's capabilities to make them stronger and to get to these certain states that they've both seen themselves in and constantly be able to stay at that state is a very real thing, and they can learn over the time of constant practice to be able to find that is like their natural state almost that they can end up being in, that they can pull it out and stay in it for almost any limit limit that they need to, unless there's some sort of things that are restrictions and stuff that wind up being put onto them. But for the most part, it seems like that's something that they're going to be working towards, which works as a really just normal way, I would argue, but smart way for them to be able to constantly evolve and not introduce a character instantly, as a lot of other shonens like to, that is the most strong and overpowered person in the universe. It gives us something to work towards and look forward to as they constantly get stronger, and let them reach new heights and reach a lot new highs for us as viewers to witness too. So I'm thrilled very much about that. The main thing I think throughout this episode, of course, though, is getting introduced to our GILF, which is great with Momo's grandmother coming in, and I'm very happy about that. She's awesome so far. She's like the typical, like, you show somebody who's like looks like a child but they're actually like 400 or something, like an anime. She's like that, but just like an older grandma instead. So it's pretty funny, I think, being able to do that, because it's like the complete flip on what you typically would end up getting there. Her personality is fantastic. She's very similar to Momo, which makes me really curious what the mom is like. They seemingly are all like very close in a lot of different ways. But overall, my favorite thing, I think, is something that's been displayed other times throughout the other episodes, but really is highlighted, I feel like, here, with the ability to shift between we're yelling at each other or messing around or kind of like just in that argument state, to be able to switch into like actually being like honest and caring for the other person and showcasing that, whether it's just like showing the general relief that we end up having from at the end of like hoping with the grandma, hoping that we're not actually going to have Momo die here, and the same thing with her walking up and going through all these feelings and immediately getting angry and lashing out on the grandma until she's able to see that Ken's okay. Like, just a lot of different like shifts that they can have almost instant that work in either direction, of already being sad and then being able to turn it into like a funny like little gag that you like undercut it with, or the other way where you're turning it into something like that and then you undercut it with making it like a little bit more serious and sad. But being able to have these characters on like the same page almost and have such strong chemistry with each other that it essentially allows them to instantly be able to match that energy of the other person. So if they're feeling a certain way, they can kind of alter themselves to that right away, I think is a really, really sweet thing. You're actually 27. Nope. You have kids? Nope. Car? Nope. And it does such a good job at like, it does a good job in multiple ways of setting her up to be a weird character, like somebody that you think is just going to be like a big lick clown essentially when they get on screen, and you can like kind of mess around and maybe not have to take anything that they say or do serious, but at the same time they undercut it later by showcasing us that actually this is all true. It's just really clever things, I think, all around that make itself work out really well. The grandma just wanting to be dropped off here, not willing to speak on anything either. If you don't want to die, just like scram. So like immediately following up that first scene just feels entirely like, oh, she's just messing around with him. But now it like actually feels like, no, she's being real, until you get to go right back to where we left off at the last time and have this whole battle kind of commence between the two, which works out really nice. And I think is a one, her bat is fucking sick, but it does a really good job at just a demonstration and keeping it kind of like light and fun for us without making it feel like she's in real danger or feel like Momo or like anybody really is in real danger here, and instead allows us to like just really get to learn a little bit about what her ability is, what she's capable of doing with these barriers and everything that she creates, the object and stuff that she carries on her, and really just allowing us to like really measure out how we can feel about her in comparison to a lot of the stuff, which I think is awesome. It just does a good job at demonstrating it. Keeps things a little light. It's very fun. Learning about where she puts the nail on the inner and outer parts of the barrier and what exactly can happen. And we do a good jump cut at being able to have Ayase actually wake up here and then have to be like caught off guard of like, wait, what the fuck, where were we, what just happened, which also throws me into that same mode of like, you're just gonna do that, because we've been following, especially since episode 1, this constant like, here we're going to show you everything that's happened like throughout the day essentially of these people without really skipping anything. So we get like our first real almost skip that it feels like, and it's at an important moment right after you think that somebody could possibly have died. Well, we know he didn't, because he's the main character, of course. It just gets you like intrigued into seeing like what happened or what the grandma did or whatever like state he might be left in, and just interested in that. I think they do a good enough job. She is fucking insane. I really wonder if she's just like jokingly like 70 in anime age, like weird shit, where she's just like what it is about her, I don't know, but she's so fun, and the two of them complement each other really well with their personalities. I love her constant like denial of like aliens and stuff not actually existing, and her holding this constant grudge and anger towards Momo for like not believing in her and her position and her job over the years, until we're able to get like a really sweet moment. And we see that a lot throughout Momo, which makes me really like her. She can be completely badass, but she can also be like bratty at moments, but she can also just be like extremely sweet and caring of people. And she has a lot of different sides to her, which don't feel like too abnormal to be the case either. Being able to take that step and be able to like get down on your knees, you know, and beg essentially of this person, and ask for forgiveness, and also get the answer, the thing you want. I mean, takes a level of being able to put your ego aside to be able to do that, but also just her general care and how she's outweighing like the importance to her of how Ken is and what his state is, as opposed to being able to like really hold this grudge any longer too, and like be able to openly just now admit that you believe in this stuff to her instead. All this like feelings that she has, essentially a feeling like I set him up, I did all these bad things to him, just to realize that, oh no, I'm chill. She's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Takes her anger out. She gets mad at him. Of course she's relieved. We know she's relieved here, but she's just pissed at the idea that like she thought this and got it stuck in her head that something could have happened, when in reality that's not the case. Got all worked up for nothing. You're friends with monsters? What the fuck? Explaining her psychic powers and everything. Trying to figure these things out. Learn a little bit about the Turbo Grandma, which is really funny. Nice little like backstory too, to understand things, potential dangers that we'll run into in the future too, of understanding like the environment that one can kind of absorb themselves into and become one with, and end up gaining a bunch of extra power and everything to become this disgusting looking thing that we end up getting to see awakened at some certain point later too. Just leave him behind to let him live the way he is like this. No way I'm gonna do that. Because the Ken I love would go out of his way and save everybody. She has like that childish side of her too. That version that like sees the unrealistic parts almost of life. While there is something, of course, that she's backing herself up with, because she has these abilities and stuff that she's learned and has this invincible state, almost everything too. At the same time, it is like a little wishful thinking that you're going to be able to go out of your way and save and protect these people and get basically everything that you kind of want here and be the hero essentially, is a little bit, it might be a little bit of a stretch, but we'll see. You can be able to do that if you can get it from its own territory, but the problem is you're not going to be able to actually do that. Can't put up barriers, can't do any of that stuff, because everybody has their own lands, which is a really intriguing thing too, to learn. So we might run into other people who have similar things, can do similar things. Maybe we go to school with them, or we just meet them on the outside. We might run into similar, maybe monsters and stuff too, that have their own area. So it's intriguing. How much do you weigh? Do you want to die, buddy? Puts us on a training routine, which could be fun, of course, getting into a training arc, but we got something more pressing at hand, so I like that they do undercut that a little bit different and immediately go from joking around to let's get a little bit serious for a moment. You know, you feel bad, you put person in a bad position, but also you feel disappointed because you're only being selfish and looking out for yourself, and you can't actually be what the other person is, and they're a little upset about it. Cuts it off, getting all angry. Why the fuck did you close the door? You seem like you weren't even happy to see me again. This is cute to me too. I mean, these could just be her glasses, but I don't know why. I just felt like they were his. They're probably just hers, but like, because we don't see both of them wearing them at the same time, so I don't know why I just felt like that, which I thought was really cute. And then now being able to showcase that this is actually what happened, and he is 27, her getting pissed, nobody wants to actually believe me. Gotta go to the fucking bathroom. Being able to make like a bathroom joke essentially into something that is relatively like clever, in my opinion, I think works itself out, and like actually demonstrating all this stuff at the same time is really awesome. Doesn't feel like that's something that happens often. We learn a lot about her powers, what state she was in before, how she feels towards them now, how they actually work, and what she can visualize and end up seeing a little bit. The grandma does propose something smart too, of like, it doesn't end up working, but the idea that like maybe it's not something that you have to have in sight, but it's essentially like you just have to have that feeling and be able to visualize it even if your eyes are closed. And it is one of those things that once you learn it more and more, you'll be able to like do it so much easier. So maybe if you keep practicing on doing something like this, you'll be able to learn that that actually does work, and she doesn't need to keep this thing in sight. But it works well for the joke that we're going to keep now of being able to have to watch on as he actually does this, which is a horrifying experience, of course, for him. And Dickless just sitting on the toilet. Absolutely terrible. Until it just takes over. Everybody that he sees, I can curse. You got to come here fucking tonight. We're not fucking around anymore, which is a horrifying sequence, but awesome at the same time. And I love what it does to speed things up and not allow them to know at all. Somehow being able to overcome the barrier and everything in place too is really interesting. Bulletproof vest against evil spirits is kind of crazy. You want to keep this on. Well, she ended up taking it up later because she's weird. There's no alien. Stop fucking her. One of these days you'll learn. One of these days you'll learn. What? You're nagging so much. And it's just really sweet. She grabs onto her. Don't die. Of course, somebody who cares for her. She's raised her since she was young as well. Really sweet. Until you get on the train and everybody's fucking here. It hurt something close to me, and I can't have that happen. She switches. She looks badass when she does. This is her battle uniform. Really cute. As expected, really fun stuff. Really great stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm very excited to see what's to come with our battle. Hopefully, I don't know. I was going to say hopefully they don't wrap it up in one episode, but kind of hope they do at the same time. I don't know. I don't think it really matters, but I think it would just be like way more hype if they could just fit, like jam everything into one. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed though. If you liked it, all the like and subscribe to them. Feel free to check out the channel and comments with this better series. I'll be back for episode 4 next week. It was a great one. Peace.